Before we jump into habit number one, I want to go ahead and delete all the negative stuff that you have in your mind, okay? And what I'm talking about is if you're uncomfortable with the way you are, you feel bad about the weight that you, extra weight that you have on, this is only going to negatively affect your results, okay? It's going to hold you back from getting where you want to be because it induces hormones that make you store more body fat and lose muscle mass. And so I've seen people do the same program, do the right things, and then person A, they do really well. Person B, because they have a negative mindset throughout the program, they didn't get the same results. So I want you got to promise me right now for the rest of this 7 habits that you are going to incorporate a positive attitude, and you're not going to go into the frustration, or you're not going to let yourself think about the negative things about being where you are versus where you want to be. How you're going to do that is you're going to think about where you want to be. I want you visualizing exactly how you want to look and how you want to feel. One good way to do this is find a picture of yourself maybe 10, 15 years ago that is the body weight that you want to be at. If you don't have one, just start thinking about where you want to be. Okay? Then I want you to start acting as if you already have that body that you thought about. Okay? One great way to do this is to go ahead and start buying clothes in smaller sizes. And this is a very powerful tool because it kind of already makes you like getting ready to have this body that you want. And then when you start doing these things, when you start thinking about it and acting as if, you will become where you want to be. All right, so make sure you promise me already, you're still watching this video, that you're going to give me a positive mindset. And I want you to constantly think about that, stay on top of yourself about that. Anyways, habit number one is called living food and dead food. Now, the choices, decisions that we make every day are a big part of, how your body is actually going to look and the results you're going to get. Now, most people label food as bad food and good food. Okay, a lot of people think, oh, well, that chocolate pie is bad, and the brown rice is good, or vegetables are good, blah blah blah. Anyways, instead of thinking bad and good, I want you thinking of dead and living. Okay, this is going to make a big make your choices a little bit easier. When you eat foods, what we normally call bad foods, that are desserts, stuff that comes out of a box, highly processed foods, just junk food, there's a label up under this. It's an imaginary label. You don't see it, but I promise you it's there. And it says, these foods increase cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, and arthritis. Okay? You probably don't want to eat that bad food, even though it really tastes good. If you saw that on it every single time, if that was on the side of a box, it'd be a lot easier to make that choice to go to the good food. The good food is your fruit, your vegetables, your lean meats, your grains. And under this, you're going to see a label that says, these foods fight cancer, fight cardiovascular disease, and make you feel better, and are going to make you look great. So any time that you're in the pantry, in a restaurant, wherever, I want you constantly thinking about living food and dead food instead of thinking about bad and good. Always think about those labels that we talked about when you're making your choices. All right, so your goal for this week, what I want you to do is don't eat anything out of a box at all, okay? Not one thing out of a box. When you're doing your grocery shopping, a real easy way to do that is just stay on the outside of the perimeter of the grocery store. Don't go inside the aisles. That's where the junk food is at. That's where all the chemical stuff is at that's going to be bad for your body or dead for your body, okay? Also, this week, anytime you make a choice, I don't want you thinking about that's a good option or a bad option. I want you to think it's a living food or a dead food. This is going to make those choices a lot easier for you to make, and it's going to make you think about what's going to happen to your body on which choice that you make. All right. You also need to go over the questions that we have at the end of each habit. Why you need to change, what do you need to change, why you need to change, what's important to you, and then there needs to be something like a penalty that you set up for yourself, or a pattern to break. So if you find yourself eating the food out of the box or not thinking about living food or dead food, what are you going to do? You need to make something that's maybe embarrassing for you to do, like wash somebody's car or do 15 burpees or run a mile. So make there a penalty for yourself. Hey, if I don't do this, then I'm going to have to do X, okay? And make that a little challenging for yourself. All right, habit number one, eat living food, not dead food. Keep that in your mind this week.